Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line and Talking Points, our weekend review show where we're going to go back over all the action of the weekend. Well, since today was an absolute, not even a washout, a freeze out, we've only really Saturday to talk about. And then I've questions that people from Twitter have put in, so myself and Dave will go to them through them. After Dave, what's crack? How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, I'm alright, Jay. I ventured forth through the snow this morning up to see my godson, so that was fun.
More importantly, you're sitting this out and you're sitting out the NFL semi-finals for this. It's dedication.
Look, I'll miss the first quarter, and I'll watch the remaining three then, and I'll go to sleep then. I wouldn't say I'll watch the second one, to be honest.
I'll be surprised you make it through the first one.
To keep the routine down and try to keep my heart healthy, that's the main thing.
Exactly. Right, we'll start. Where to start? Clarence House Chase, where we had first flow at 14-1 winning with Pimlico back in second and waiting patiently to find out what my best trip is back in third at 5-2. This was a bit of it was a shock to say the least. Like we had Pimlico champion Chase around it. We had Daffy the side now. Please, anybody ever again talk about Daffy the side as a 2-miler or anything like that. Stop it, please. Right, Dave, what do you think of it? Good performance.
I'll go to the first flow last. On Daffy, he's gone at the game. Like, he just has no interest. But he's definitely too slow of a jumper to be a 2-miler. Pimlico is what he is. He's not ever going to be a superstar, I don't think, like Altior was or Shishkin might be. And first flow, I actually like the horse. We've both backed him a few times. He's obviously won me a few pounds because there's a string of ones next to his name, but I didn't think he was going to be able to win a Grade 1. So, but no,
as you said there, we've backed him a few times, and like we did mention that don't like taking for granted. There's a load of ones next to his name for a reason. You never thought he'd put in a performance that he'd done. Like the jumps down the back straight to put pressure on Pimlico was like he's been known to not be a great jumper at home, and David Bass just gets on so well with him, and he's just firing into these fences.
It's the ride he got, and do you know what, Kim Bailey? He's had a couple of decent horses in the last 5 or 6 years, and he literally was threatening to win a decent Grade 1 with a kind of outsider horse for a good few years. I'd say a lot of people thought it was going to be Imperial Aura, but first flow got there before him. So,
like, as we touched back on him again, but Pimlico, look, he ran his race as always. He beat the rest of them. Waiting patiently is. What are they doing with him? Like, let's run him over 3 miles one day. No, let's run him over 2 miles. He'd be running against Patash next, for all we know. They don't know what to run him over.
Do you know what? I love Andrew Blair White. He's done great in the videos, and I love listening to him. But he needs to give up on waiting patiently, and needs to give up on Windsor Avenue. Them two are going to. He's going to spot him over a cliff at this stage.
He's going to fall off the cliff. He's never going to get back up off it. Like, you get on to him next week. We'll get him on for next week for Cheltenham. There's some horses you just need to let go. Like, I don't know. Like, let's touch on Daffy again. Some people are saying, what are you on about the slow jumping? He jumps fine. It's the landing side. It's the landing on all fours. It's the getting squeezed away every single jump. Like, when the race started, I texted into our group saying, Jesus, Daffy looks awake today, because he was traveling nicely. But when push came to shove again, it's the jump and let him down. He was stopped, kind of landing on all fours, getting pushed away again. Tom made a point. Look, he couldn't run over any trip now, and he still lose. He's just gone at the game. He doesn't want it. Look, and I said, look, he's nothing to lose now. Step him up to 3 miles. Why not? He might enjoy going that slower pace. You never know unless you try. Some horses just don't like going that extra speed, so give it a go. Like, what's the worst going to happen?
They have to try something different with him anyway, because what they're doing is not working anymore. So,
no, right on first flow, what chances would you give him now? But he's not. He's obviously needs to step up again to get to Shishkin's level, and probably Altior's to be, if Altior's back to his best. He's a young and up and comer. Like, we don't know the ceiling of his ability yet, but what chance would you give him now?
And look, I wanted to take on Shishkin last year. I was happy to take him on this year, but there's just no challengers left anymore. Like, I don't know, something could run super on the day at Cheltenham. Like, Pimlico put in a performance last year when everybody thought Daffy was going to win and so on and so forth. But I mean, if Shishkin turns up, gets there and gets up the hill, he's not going to lose. Like,
No,
as much as I wanted to take him on all the time, I'm willing to accept that there's not a whole lot of challengers, and he has looked the best 2-miler this year. I don't think first flow looked good the other day, but like, I don't think that performance would beat Shishkin.
I think the thing with Shishkin as well, I still don't think we've seen the best of him. I think a proper champion chase pace for him to go with. His jumping is phenomenal. He does everything well. He's a high cruiser speed and he keeps going to the line. I reckon if he gets there in one piece, I think we're going to see something special. I think he's going to absolutely pull the field apart. But
there's still one or two question marks, but he looks head and shoulders above the others. Like Willie's had some unbelievable horses. He's never won the champion chase, and a lot of them that he's had race real enthusiastically, like Shishkin, and have injured themselves. So look, he's more than likely going to win. I couldn't see First Flow beating him. And the thing about First Flow is he needs like soft, heavy ground. So.
Like, and then if we just touch on Shishkin again, it's not a case that Shishkin has to turn up and win. Like, he still has the obvious question mark: does he act around Cheltenham? Which you can't say he won't. He's a very good mover. He's a very electric horse. The undulations around Cheltenham wouldn't seem to bother him. But 11-10 on that, a horse that hasn't shown himself at Cheltenham yet and has so little runs. But the fact that he's had to put in consecutive runs together this season will kind of give you that he's going to get there in one piece. But I think fairly foolish to rule out Altior at this moment in time. He's
the only one I have backed for the race. I personally would prefer him to go for the race, not step up and trip. But they did it last year and said it didn't work.
Why did you go at it again?
He hadn't raced in so long the last day, and he looked lazy and so on and so forth. But look, if he's not the same horse, leave him go for the champion chase. If he doesn't win, draw stumps then, and that's the end of that. Like,
look, he's probably the safer bet at this stage. He's unbeaten at Cheltenham. He's a multiple champion chase winner. Like, he put in a below bar performance last time against Newbury Negra, but he's another one that you kind of take into consideration. But look, at this moment in time, Shishkin's the worthy favourite. Is he too short? Yes, probably. But look, that's for the end of next month. We get into all our Cheltenham Festival, which we were having on the last week of February, which the date is the Friday. The last week is the 26th of February. We're having our Cheltenham Festival our Cheltenham Festival preview. So that's going to be a good, I'd say, 2.5-3 hours long of absolutely tearing chunks out of each other. Right, yeah, more or less. And Andrew Blair White will be there as well. So 4 of us to have a go with each other.
If I continue to get better and feel I might even have a few drinks that night and all hell could break loose.
No, I'm not doing CPR on bloody on camera. Not happening. No, not again. Right, we'll touch on the Mayor's hurdle. Roxana won at 8-15. Magic Light back in second. And who was third? El Clean Desai was back in third. She looked very good performance. Looked very speedy. Look, we had our doubts about her, but she's a 9-year-old now. She seems to kind of matured a bit and wants to go ahead with it. But look, where she goes now is Mayor's Hurdle, obviously. Has she improved enough to get near Honeysuckle or Constantista? Who knows? What you make of the performance?
I wouldn't go for the Mayor's Hurdle. I'd go for the 3-mile grade 1 at Aintree.
Skip the stairs.
Yeah, I'd skip the
Let's
stairs.
skip Cheltenham, should I say?
She won't beat the top two, so there's no point. She's tried already. They're only going to get better. I think there's a few other horses that would beat her in the stairs as well. I'd be surprised if she placed. You have to remember what she beat the other day. Magical Light is a grand servant, but she is what she is. In all fairness, and
like that's all. This is all prep. It's all prep for the Grand National. And Eglantine Desai is Eglantine Desai. She's useless.
Dog. And to be fair, how close the other yoke was to Magical Light, I wouldn't say Magical Light even ran her race, to be honest. No. So.
Look, at least she backed up her run behind. She had to back up her first two runs when she beat Next Destination, and then was third behind Time Hill and Paisley Park. She's not going to bloody challenge anything at Cheltenham, I don't think personally. But look, it's a thing in the back of her head that Dan Skelton's horse are firing this time of year again. Is she peaking too early? Probably. What will she beat the top two? No. What are you laughing at?
Someone said, "Is that a dead bird behind your head, Dave?" No, it's a dream catcher.
Jesus Christ! It does look like a dead bird. Right, moving on to the handicap chase at Cheltenham over 2 mile 5. We all tipped up Dashiell Thrasher, which he put in a very, very good front runner performance. And Benny's King was second, and Jerry's Back was third. Look, he done what we thought he was going to do out in front. Jumped out at his left a lot, changed his feet a lot coming into the fences. There's still a lot of improvement left in this lad. He was absolutely dosing after he jumped the last, so there's still definitely plenty of races left in him.
You probably didn't see, and to be fair, I calls out the lads in the group when they puts in stuff, and Kubo gets it a lot. I woke up to a text Saturday morning. Why is everybody on Dashiell Thrasher and not Goodbye Bobby from Robbie? And he said there's like an £18 swing, and Goodbye Bobby bet him the last day. We shared a few messages about it being Dashiell Thrasher's first run and not being allowed lead. And he couldn't understand why Dashiell Thrasher was being picked by us and a few of the lads in the competition and stuff. So that message went well, Robbie. Well done.
That aged well.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Where next with him?
I go into graded company now.
Do you go?
But, he needs an attacking ride like that. That was another great ride. There was some great rides over the weekend.
Yeah, McGrath gave him a very good ride.
To be honest, you text me after 2 fences and said the race is over, he'll win, and I thought he would as well because he stole the lead, got a break, got another break around Swindley Bottom, and then he was just awesome.
He doesn't stop like.
Some of the jumps now are hairy-fairy, but
I was watching the thing on at the races today, and Mick Fitzgerald was making a point of saying zoom in on his legs and watch his legs change before he gets to the fence. He changed onto his left, and the second he does that, he starts drifting out to the centre of the fence, and out he goes. Like, I think, obviously you'd think he's going to be a lot better going right-handed now, or left-handed, should I say.
I don't think it's that. I think he's still a bit green about the whole thing, and he's not even fully certain what he's doing. It's like the first round of the season, he just didn't want to do anything because he wasn't allowed lead. So
arguably he's go on.
There's a graded ability in there. It's just about harnessing it the right way.
Like, arguably his best performance was last year when he was like the races where he went left-handed. He was 3.5 lengths behind Champ and Newbury. Then he went on to Newbury again. He bolted up by 17 lengths or something like that. Would you chance him at Cheltenham? I'd 100% give him a go in the Ryanair or something like that, because he's at a trajectory in his life where he could be on this upward curve where he's just at the top of his game, and why not let him bowl along? I know it's probably one of the most competitive races in the bloody Cheltenham 4 days, but why not? Like, his handicap days are probably behind him.
He's the right age, he's the right profile and stuff, so why not?
Exactly.
I don't think he'd beat the likes of Min and all that, but give it a go. Why not?
Look, it's horse racing, as we've seen with First Flow, full of confidence, the one's next to his name. As if you go back to his start of his chase career, he was getting beat, but now he's 7 unbeaten. you get a horse out when they're full of it, when they're going like full of themselves in very, very good form. Like there is the options of like the Ultima or anything like that, but I don't know what he's gone up to. If he's gone too high up in the waist. But look, if he goes to the Ultima or anything like that, he'd be very, very interesting betting pop precision.
Look, his chase record is now like he unseated one day, he got beaten by Champ, and he threw the dummy out the pram the first race of the season this year. He won the rest of them. So
could we go in there under the radar? Look, I'll be definitely wherever he goes next. I'll be keeping a keen eye on him. Right, we'll go to the Unibet hurdle, the new one hurdle, whatever it's called. Navajo Pass, absolutely rode him stupid. Bouvier back in second, and Ballyandy back in third. Was this a good ride on Navajo Pass, or was it just the two lads thinking that we're on way better horses? He's only coming out trying for it. He's going to win the handicap up in Musselburgh or somewhere like that. He'll come back to us.
Right, I said it numerous times on this podcast about how bad a track Haydock is. On the flat and over jumps, right? Fair enough to the horse for winning, but the form of Haydock on heavy ground never stands up. You cannot, and it's a terrible ride from Nico. And there was another couple of, as much as there was good rides at Ascot, there was terrible rides at Haydock. You cannot give horses that much of a lead at Haydock in deep, heavy ground. It takes too much out of a horse to get back to the horse in front, and the horse in front has all the energy left because they've nicked a soft lead. Happens all the time. Happens every time Haydock's on and it's heavy ground. Find a front runner and you'll make money. It's just, I can't understand how jockeys can't get it, and I can't understand how trainers think they can come from the back when it's never going to happen. But that was a shocking ride from Nico, and there was a few other jockeys now at Haydock on Saturday who were hang their heads in shame for the leads that they let other jockeys get.
Like I was sitting down watching it and went off out in front. I think it was the first turn time they went off into the back straight. I was thinking they're on heavy ground now. He's going the pace that he wants to go. He's not going to overexert himself that much going around the first time. He's not coming back to them. And he just gave him a breather down the back and went on again. He was on, like, it's ridiculous rides out. Like, yeah, fair enough that Bouverdier's first run in over a year, but he should be picking him up and just spitting him out. Nico left him way, way, way too much to do. Especially on that ground, your first run back. Like,
I'll be honest, I didn't see anything wrong with Bouverdier's run. He hurdled as good as he would normally do, but you just can't. It's too hard of a track, and the ground gets too deep. Takes too much out of horses, and he literally had about 12 lengths to make up, and then he had nothing left. That's all it was.
He was given way too much to do in the short space of time, and he used up way too much energy getting there. Jumped the second last, he looked like he was getting there, but then it was probably he needed to run. He's going to come on a ton for that. But what do you reckon as a betting proposition now for Champion Hurdle? No,
he won't win. 10-year-olds have a terrible record.
Even in such a, as I say, weak division now, but Nicky has.
It is kind of a weak division, but I'd say if Epatante is okay, she'll batter him again. To be honest.
Yeah. Do you not think it's a race to take her on now? Especially no.
Same last year, and she battered them also. She's an old mare. She'll throw in the dodgy run every now and again. They all do it. So,
well, we get on to the winner. Navajo Pass. He was 7th in the Triumph Hurdle last year. Which now looking back, that Triumph Hurdle is starting to work out quite well. There's like you had Aspire Tower after coming out. He's after being second in the Grade 1. He's won the WKD Hurdle at Downroyal at the start of the season, beating Abracadabras. Then you have All Mankind, who's a Grade 1 winner over fences already. It's not working out half bad now. So I bring up the the question again. If Goshen comes back to anywhere near his best and decides he wants to put it all together, surely on the back of all this form of the horse that were miles behind him in the Triumph Hurdle, he has to go close in the Champion Hurdle.
Yeah, but like, where is he? Like,
this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're just like giving him all the break he needs, just laying off him, building him up, get his confidence going. He has to be a dark horse. Like, I know people are going to say, "Oh, what's he beating? Blah blah blah. He's done this, that this season." But it's just the kind of thing to build him to come to Cheltenham, and suddenly everything is clicked for him.
You're right in saying the Jesus. You all right there?
Yeah, I'm not dying.
You're right in saying the form is there. All Mankind has franked it. Aspar Towers franked it. A few other horses have. We haven't seen Burning Victory yet. The form is there, but his run was so poor at Cheltenham the last day. But there was obviously something wrong. But
he had a Dave O'Keefe. He had a bad heart.
The same thing goes. Like, if you could know for sure that he's going to be the Goshen that he was last year, then yeah, you'd back him. But you just don't know that. So, like,
what price is he now? He's probably at a price where you can take a chance and thinking, hold on, I'll try to get it.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Aspar Tower wins it. I thought that was a good anti-post selection last week.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of improvement left in him. I know, like, I had this argument with someone on Twitter. Oh, he's a 5-year-old. He's not going to win this. Well, look, I had the same argument when I put up, say for me, the other 5-year-old, Esport Allen, that he's a 5-year-old. He hasn't a chance. Like, you can get Goshen at 25-1 in a place for the Champion Hurdle now. That's about you take a chance. So,
it's a strange year, so it wouldn't surprise me if a 5-year-old won it or something from left field won it, to be honest.
Yeah. So. Right. I move on to the last race that we covered on the preview. And in my opinion, a lot of other people's opinion, one of the best performances of the weekend, if not probably the year so far. Royale Pagaille absolutely made a mockery of, like, not a strong field, but he can only do what's put in front of you. Went off 11-5, and he won by, what was it in the end? It was 16 lengths in the end, but it could have been 46 if he wanted it to be. Everything to me, like, I put him up after his first run as a horse to watch out coming through the season. There's a lot to like about him. He looked head and shoulders above the mark he is, which brings him into the question mark of, yes, he's a 3-season novice chaser. Everything is after clicking this season. There's a reason Rich Ritchie kept him in kept ownership of him. What do you do now? It's stamped of a hugely talented horse. Do you stick with the novice route and go, right, we're going to stick this year, we'll go National Hunt Chase. He's not even entered in the RSA. Or do you go, the hell with it, we're going to do a Coneygree. Let's go to the Gold Cup. He might never be in this form again in his life. The hell with it, go with it. What would you do?
He's too good to go for National Hunt Chase, in my opinion, so I'd go for the Gold Cup.
100% I would. I haven't backed already for ridiculous prices for the National Hunt Chase. If I owned him, I'd 100% go Gold Cup. There's no even two ways about it. When you have a horse who's putting in performances like that, who's absolutely battering in fields, like, we had this argument with Tom that what's he beating? If you go through most of the championship horses going through the season, they don't beat much the whole way around anyway.
No.
It's not who they beating, it's how they're beating him. He could have went around there and lapped him again. It was just unbelievable. I loved what I seen.
Most of the championship horses are geared towards Cheltenham. It's like not racing Altior and giving him a hard race until he gets to Cheltenham. This lad is in what you would consider to be hard races. They might not be decent. They might not be like super highly rated horses, but those handicaps are really hard to win. and
Like,
especially the way he's winning them. He's had 3 races this year, and I said it. He's literally chewing the bridle going over the line. It's ridiculous.
he has to
And
even coming out with second gear. Like,
you can, to me, you can't have it both ways. You can't laud Shishkin and Envoy Allen for beating trees, because that's all they're beating as well. But then this chap is not a sexy horse. He's with Venetia Williams running around Haydock, so he's beating nothing. It can't be one way for one horse and then the other way for him,
yeah,
just because he's running around Haydock and heavy ground. I don't think the ground is any issue for him either. I think he just travels through it better than the other horses, and clearly is a better horse. I think he would have a great chance in the Gold Cup. There are loads of horses and loads of names, Manel Indo, this fella, that fella. They've done nothing. Realistically, Manel Indo has done no more than what Royale Pagaille has.
true, very true.
Royale Pagaille has done probably more.
If anything,
The,
Royale Pagaille has done more than Manel Indo at this stage.
the handicaps he's won. Like Manel Indo running around Wexford. Just get out of here. He was in a decent race and he failed. So, right? Kemba is not going to. He's crap around Cheltenham. He might win at Leopardstown. Delta Work is useless. Album Photo is, like I said in the Andy Post video, it's probably one of the best bets at the meeting. But then, like Thomas talking about, 10 others in the betting would do what Royale Pagaille is. But all those 10 are not progressive. This horse is a progressive horse. A lot of those 10 in the betting that Tom was on about have already been to a Gold Cup, have already ran in graded 3-mile chases. They don't win. They just turn up all the time and it's beating each other. The best horse in the race, Album Photo, I'd still pick him. But if Royale Pagaille ran, yeah, I'd be happy. I think he'd have a chance. And I do think Applautard has a chance, but it worries me that we're not going to see him till March. Did it last year and it didn't work out. And Champ would have a chance, but not now because he hasn't ran. You need to run before it. I know you laughed at me when I said Manel Indo won't win, but the stats are totally against horses that fall during the season. They don't win Gold Cups. The stats are actually good for Applautard, like the year Size and John won it. Coming from the Ryanair to then step up to the Gold Cup, those horses have good stats. And horses like Royale Pagaille that are untested and winning at lower levels do have a chance in Gold Cups as well.
Yeah, if he was mine, I'd go Gold Cup. There's nothing to say he's not up to the standard. If you want to be your Racing Post ratings person, he's at the rating now to be a Gold Cup horse. Like, if you take step into Rich Ritchie's shoes right now. So he has Monkfish for the RSA, who will run in the Gold Cup next year. You have Royale Pagaille, who's a novice, but also has the option of running the Gold Cup this year. He hasn't a horse to run in the Gold Cup. He's going to want the horse in the Gold Cup. He has a horse that is had to put in performances and ratings to back it up. There's nothing to say we have seen the best of him yet. There's no doubt in my mind we have not seen the best of him yet. Who's to say if they go a faster pace or he comes up, he cruises at the speed he does. He's a high cruising speed. He finishes well. He has to come off the bridle. He's at the win on bottomless ground around Haydock. He's going to stay. There's no doubt about it. He's going to stay. He could be one of the biggest dark horses in it. And if he ends up winning, people will go back and say, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, look at the performance he put in. Yeah, Jesus, he was entitled to do that."
Right. The other side of it is looking at it from Rich Ritchie. Right, you can't say, "Oh, I have Monkfish next year. He'll win it next year." You don't know what's going to happen with the horse.
That's
you don't
fine.
know if he's going to win it. Right. It's in the here and now. The Racing Post ratings and all that wouldn't bother me, but the stats about how horses are campaigned and where they come from into the Gold Cup, it does tell a story every year, right? Album Photo is going for 3 in a row. That's not done a lot, right? So you can take him on. Then it's the other horses that are coming from being a novice chaser last year or now Applautard coming from the Ryanair, right? Applautard has a chance. Do you think he'll beat him? you'd have to go there thinking you would. That leaves him and Manila Indo and Albon Photo are really the 3 horses that the stats are favouring. The rest of them have been there, haven't won, so they don't really have a chance anymore.
Yeah.
If he was mine, I'd go for it.
Like, people are saying, oh, don't run Novice in the Gold Cup. But this is his 3rd season as a Novice chaser. If I'm not mistaken, this is his 12th run over the fences.
Yeah.
He has plenty of
loads of times in France as well.
He has plenty of experience. There's no doubt about it. He's plenty of experience. Everything is just clicking now. He's the right age. He's so much improvement left in him. He has the experience. He's not like he's just suddenly a novice after running 3 times over fences. He's had to run 12 or 13 times over fences. He's streetwise. I can 100% see him. Like, people say, oh, Rich Ritchie's not going to run a novice. Why isn't he? Rich Ritchie is a sporting man. He wouldn't have kept Faheen in training if he wasn't.
He also tries to win as many races as he can. So
yeah, he will run. If it could be himself. Like, he has a crop now of a very, very good staying chase himself. Royale Pagaille and Monkfish. He'll have a stab for this year, Royale Pagaille. If it doesn't go according to plan, he'll have Monkfish all being well to go at it next year. It's a no-brainer to me. That much experience under your belt, you're in the form of your life. The hell with it. Go for it. Like, it could end up being another Coneygree. Like, if you look at it, they did the exact right thing with Coneygree. Coneygree was in the form of his life. What happened to Coneygree?
It looked that year a winnable race, and so it was in the end.
And if you look at Coneygree then after the Gold Cup, he was never the same horse. Yeah, probably the Gold Cup took it out of him. But what's to say if he ran in the RSA chase that the RSA chase wouldn't have taken out of him? It's not often you come across horses like this. If you have it, go for it.
Andrew, it's like, I love 3 mile chases and I do follow the stats on them. They're so hard to win. The RSA is unbelievably difficult to win and it's very hard on horses. And so is the Gold Cup. That's why being able to win back-to-backs with Albon Photo is amazing. Look what winning the RSA done to top of the game. He's never the same again. Like, we'll probably never see that horse again. And that's happened to a few. Presenting Percy won it like you wouldn't believe. Never the same horse again.
Like. Yeah. And you could say the same kind of, well, you can't really, Delta Works had to win a few grade ones, but what was I saying? Like, this year, there's a lot of horses in it that have been running in the Gold Cup the last 2 seasons. There's Albon Photo, who is 100% the horse everyone has to come up to. Then you have the likes of Percy, Delta Work, Cowboy. Who else? I'll just get the betting up quickly. Just go through very quickly. Gold Cup. All right, if Albon Photo, who is obviously the worthy favourite, should be shorter than 4-1 in my opinion. At Plutard, question marks of did the race fall apart at Leopardstown, but very good performance. Melindo, you're on the stats that he has no chance after falling. Santini needs to start today. Like, then you've Royale Pagaille is 12-1. Champ has no hope. He has to run already. Has no hope. He'll go stairs hurdle. I'm convinced.
One of the lads there said as well about the RSA, like we were saying, Champ won that. Haven't seen him. Had loads of setbacks this year as well.
Yeah.
Alaho is not the same. He looked a good horse last year, but he's not the same horse since he ran in the RSA. Santini looked a world beater when he was coming up to that RSA. Never reached the heights that you thought he would. He looks terrible now. It's happened to loads of horses, so that's why it's very. You can't just say, "Oh, throw him in the RSA and he go Gold Cup next year." You just don't know. They're so hard on novices.
It's only the fit.
Monkfish could win that race and be injured. Yeah, what happened to Cooldine? Willie had Cooldine a few years ago as well. He won it amazingly. He never reached them heights again.
Just going through the betting, like Champ, obviously we don't know what's up with him. He's been saying that he's coming out here, he's coming out there. Now he's all of a sudden entered in the stairs hurdle. That tells me one thing and one thing only. He's there at the putting the plug on it. He has to have run already. He's not going to go in there without having run over fences and go straight into the Gold Cup. It's suicide. Absolute suicide. He runs in the stairs hurdle. He has a huge chance of winning that. what was I looking at there again? Like Champ, then we throw it on Has No Hope in Hell. Delta Work doesn't act around Cheltenham. Ken by the same. Lost in translation, no. Mellon, I'd say he go Ryanair. Presenting Percy, no. Waiting Patient, no. It's a very... You've one horse to beat on all known things right now, which is Album Photo. Why the hell not go for it? He's like, it's a no-brainer. Go for it. Like, and as you said with the RSA, yes, that Percy hasn't been the same since. Who fell in that race after being given the hard race and Album Photo? It's all the ones that progressed through it. I just think it's a no-brainer.
Monolith was in that race. Never the same horse after it either.
No.
Battered by Presenting Percy.
Yeah. I think it's a no-brainer. I'd be shocked if he doesn't run. Would you? He's not even entered in the RSA. So it's not even up in the air. I'd say the decision's made already. Right, we get on to questions. 2 seconds. Oh, I get them all. So earlier on, I put up on Twitter, get in your questions. Jesus Christ, there's a lot. Majority of them are about Royale Pagaille. Sorry, no. We've one from good old Tom. Tom, who's studying for his Northern Accountancy exams. Best of luck, Tom. But now we're going to absolutely rip into you.
Best of luck, Tom.
So Tom put up question for Andrew and Dave. How far does Royale Pagaille win the Gold Cup, and will you be tipping him over your beloved Album Photo? And this coming from a fellow who has tipped up Presenting Percy, Manila Indo, and A Plutard, all for the same race. Thomas, stop now. But no, I won't be putting her up instead of Album Photo. I think Album Photo wins again, and Royale Pagaille will be very close behind him if he runs there.
If any of the listeners, right, and I know some of them would have, like, would listen to your tips more, my tips more, Tom's tips more. If you listen to Tom's tips about Gold Cups, you should just turn off because he hasn't a clue, and it's been proved 2 years running. So you pick another one, Tom. Have 4 at it, sure.
Another one. So it's all bloody Royale Pagaille. How good was Royale Pagaille the weekend? If you just answer that. If it was yours, what race would you go for? Dave, you look through the comments there for a second. I'm trying to get more of them here. I'm trying to get into the bloody thing. What about Don Poli? Don Poli, what's he running?
He won the
RSA.
And he wasn't the same horse after. He won a couple of grade ones and it fell apart.
He's still staying on there up the hill for 7th. Jesus Christ. Do you think a question from Billy Brown? Do you think JP will be phoning Barry Geraghty and begging him to come back?
Yeah, to be honest.
If I was JP, I'd be putting the checkbook in front of Barry Geraghty and he was saying, put as many zeros as you want on that. Just come back for Cheltenham. That's all I want you for. It's just
Nico falling on Allard as well. Like that was Nico's fault as well. Like, oh.
I seen 3 strides out that Nico, just leave him pop it. Don't send him to it. No, it just goes to show, and it's been shown more this season of how good Barry Geraghty was. He's look, people crabs from that. Oh, he doesn't do the Monday to Fridays. Who cares? You want him to turn up on Saturdays on your big horses. He will be there.
He managed to get Daffy to side to win 2 grade ones at 2 miles.
Exactly.
That's how good he is.
Harry Houdini couldn't do that now. Another question for Mark Dodsley. I hope I said that right. Do you guys think Harry Cobden gave Pimlico a bad ride? I couldn't believe that he was just allowed first float to take the lead and essentially break Pimlico's heart. The horse needs to lead. He should have gone from the front, in my opinion, and I think Skelton rode him. This wouldn't have happened. What do you think?
I do think Skeleton rides him better, but I don't know. Look, to me, the best horse on the day won, so.
I think once First Flow passed him, I think if Harry Colton went to go with him, he would have finished 4th or 5th. I think he rode the best race he could have. They probably took each other on too much. But look, the best horse on the day won. He took the race by the scruff of the neck, jumped superbly down the back straight, and done very well. Would you go Champion Chase with First Flow? Surely handicaps are now out of the question due to the weight he'll be getting. Yeah, it's out of the question now. He's going handicaps.
You'd have to go for it now,
yeah. One from Nico's Tips. Hope that's not Nico the Bible. Jesus Christ. Who would you lay for the festival? 5-1 or shorter?
Who would I lay?
Yeah, at 5-1 or shorter right now.
I'd lay Shishkin. I think Energamine is going to beat him.
Do you lay Shishkin?
Yeah, I think Energamine or Energamene.
Energamene. People are listening to us now. Why are they saying it like that? So one of the lads in the chat always puts in Energamene. I would lay.
Which I have to say, if he does end up winning the Arca, is one of the best calls ever.
He put this up like 50-1.
He put this up nearly before Cheltenham last year.
It was. He was only had to win his maiden hurdle or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
On Dan. Good shout, Dan.
Unbelievable. And he's definitely going to win a grade 1. He'll win a grade 1 at Punchestown if he doesn't win the Arc.
Yeah. Who would I lay? I'd lay Brave Man's Game for the Ballymore.
Yeah. That's a very hard race. There's loads in that to have a chance. So.
Another one. Do you go to Gold Cup or National Chase with Royale Pagaille? Maybe said that already. Gold Cup.
One of the lads here says, "What do you think of my Drogo's chances in the Supreme?"
I think he's one of these. One for the future. I don't think this year is going to be his year. I think another year or so racing under his belt, you'll see a better horse again.
Be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if a 40-1 shot wins the Supreme this year.
Think so?
Yeah, I appreciate that's the best form, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. It reminds me of the year Mellon was the one for everybody and he got bet by LeBake.
What's shaping up to be the best race of the festivals so far? This is from Steve Stevenson. Stairs for me now with the Irish versus English narrative. What's the best race you're looking forward to at Cheltenham?
Bonefish against Latest Exhibition.
That's not a race. That's going to be assault.
I need Brian Cooper to
do a Don Cossack and get him beat.
No, I need him to get to the front about half a furlong out. Don't even jump to the front at the last. Hang on to the very, very last bit. That's what I need Brian Cooper to do.
Monkfish just loves battling.
If he goes ahead of Monkfish at the last fence, Monkfish will win. He'd battle back and beat him. But if Latest Exhibition just kicks to the front for a little bit, that's his chance.
Nah, he'll beat him anyway, no matter what. The race will be over before the last.
Two really good horses, and that race at Christmas was one of my favourite races of the whole year. So if we see that again, and there's other horses that'll be in it as well, so it's going to be a good one.
Two unbelievable horses, to say the least. Yeah. I'd say I'm really looking forward to the Gold Cup. So many question marks of what could happen, what couldn't happen, who will run, who won't. I'm just looking forward to seeing Album Photo win the third in a row. One here from Paul Neary. Do you think Honeysuckle will go champion hurdle? No. I don't. I think they've aspired to her for that. Like Honeysuckle, I'd say she'll go defend her crown in the mares. What do you fellas think is your best and worst anti-post bet at this stage? This is from Alec Mansfield. Best and worst anti-post tip, Dave.
Oh, my worst is Fat Air Dudery anyway. Yuck. My best. It has to be Benny. If she goes for the mare, she's going to win it. When I put her up, she was like 14-1, like, so.
Marsh Chase.
Yeah.
And what's your worst again?
Fakir.
Fakir do daddy. My best is on price is Monkfish. To put him up at 12s. He's now 7-4. My worst. What's my worst?
Ingolo.
Yeah, probably Angolo for the Supreme Novice Hurdle. The 50s is alright still though.
Yeah, the price is good, but he won't go there. I'd say he'll go for the Martin Pipe or something like that.
That's a good show. I never thought of that. Right, few more before we go. We're kind of a short one this week. What's this? What did I see? Ruby said she's not going to the Mares. Ellie May, a good bet for that.
Ruby's a liar.
Yeah, don't trust him.
He said then last week that she's no entries until Cheltenham, and she's entered in the Stayers, the Mares, and the Mares Chase, and he'd hope to see her turn up in the Mares Chase.
One from Matthew Curry. Is Nico the most overrated jockey? He's one of them anyway.
He's one of them, yeah. If
do you know what he reminds me of?
I can't understand that Nicky Henderson, with the owners and the horses he had, when Barry left the job for the JP job, didn't get a better jockey in as stable jockey and left it to Nico. It's mad.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Andrew Lynch at Henry's. Andrew Lynch made his name riding an absolute aeroplane the size in Europe. Nico's made his name riding Altior.
It reminds me of Tom Queally on the flat, because he was sitting on Frankel and won loads of grade ones, and I thought he was a good jockey, and that's exactly what Nico has done on Altior and Sprinter Sacra. So
here's a good question. Racing Post did a piece 8 favourites to the note of 2021. Appreciators, Epiton, Shack and Puswa, Honeysuckle, Paisley Park, Shishkin, Monkfish. Are these the best 8 favourites, and which ones would you back and which ones not?
Okay, I would back Epitant. I'd back Paisley Park. I'd back Shackan at the moment. There's nothing there that'll beat him. And I would take on the other 5.
There's nothing in my mind saying there's anything better than Appreciators in the 2 mile novice division so far. I take on Epitant, back Shackan, back Honeysuckle, back Paisley Park, take on Shishkin, and I've backed Monkfish. I take on Shishkin just because of the price, and it's a 2 mile novice chase, and he hasn't raced against anything that's going to go the speed of unexpected. And Nagamane and unexpected. Unexpected is going to go off like the clappers. If he jumps as well as he did around Thurles, he's going to be hard to peg back around Cheltenham.
He's the only one I have backed actually for the Arkle at the moment.
I have Captain Guinness, but I'm just hoping that good ground will improve him 20 pounds. I'm holding on to strings here.
Oh, you may get rid of that slip.
Oh, God. I would think there's nothing really in the 2 mile division that things, from what I saw, that's going to get appreciated right now. I put up a video on Twitter, which drove some people demented. I put up when Fator won the Supreme Novice, dare we say that this is what we're going to see with Martin Appreciated, gallop him into submission. Well, did people go, stop comparing him to fucking... I wasn't comparing him. I was just saying what's going to happen.
I was not happy with that either.
You're never happy with that, Nigel, but anyway. Epitant, I think it's the time to take her on. It's hard to win back-to-back champion hurdles. Shackan, as Dave said, there's nothing... Bar Altior, if Altior comes back to his bestest, and play the log. It's nothing really. Honeysuckle just wins the Mares. Paisley Park just wins the Stayers. Shishkin, I take him on.
I think Concertista would be Honeysuckle.
Right, so this is Dave's last podcast, so I want to thank Dave for everything he's done. That's what I think.
I genuinely do.
Really? Why?
Yeah, and I think that's why Benny will go for a different race, because they know Concertista is the up and coming one.
But why
She's
do you
just
think?
her Cheltenham form is really good. She's looked so good this year. I think she'll be travelling beside Honeysuckle, and Honeysuckle will be off the bridle, and that'll be the end of that.
People are asking, what do we think of David Mullins retiring at 24?
His interviews were good. It just sounds like he kind of fell out of love with the whole thing, but he had an interview back in October, November about Court Maid, and I actually had a conversation with you about it, that he bought her and he wanted to get into that side of the game, like being like a bloodstock agent, buying horses, selling horses, making money that way. So I think that's what he's going to do, but I think he fell out of love with it. And
look, it happens a lot.
I'd say COVID and all that didn't help either, to be honest.
Look, it happens to a lot of sports people. You wake up one morning and you just go, I don't fancy this anymore. Like it happened to me before with football. I just woke up. I was like, I don't want to go training anymore. It just gets in your head, and it takes about a year or two for you to actually bed it in and say, right, that's the end of it now. But that happens.
It does happen.
Does Ballyadam have any chance now with Cheltenham?
No.
Not in the back of the last two performances. No.
Go to Kubo's one there. Overpriced horse.
851?
Yeah.
Give us a horse, lads, that's overpriced for the festival. Salier, 21, Fury Road. No, Kubo, you're asking us ones that are overpriced, not ones that have no chance. That's two different questions altogether. My God, man. Overpriced horses. Dave, you go. What I think. Overpriced.
It's actually hard now with the non-runner, no bet and stuff. There's lots of them you kind of know what race they're going for.
I still personally think a 16-1 Aspire Tire was overpriced.
Do you know what he is? Yeah, he is overpriced. He should be shorter in the bet.
I think he should be at least 10s.
Yeah, he should be shorter.
Delta work, no. He doesn't act around Cheltenham. His jumping is too bad. It's not bad. He makes too many mistakes. Any more? Who wins the champion bumper? God only knows. Probably that Sir Gerard or Garhard, whatever he's called.
I actually have one for that.
Keep that for the festival.
Oh, look, that could be the one that I'd say is overpriced for Kubo. I know loads of people are raving about him, but I wouldn't be taking the short price in the bumper. It's notoriously hard to.
I've found my fingers burnt in that race too many times now.
Oh, stop! Yeah, Willie's horse, Ramillies.
Who? Oh, did she win the other day? She won the other day. Jody Townend.
He was a horse last year, and he was touted to win. He came fourth, and he won around Leopardstown. Then Ruby was raving about him. Said they thought he was unbelievable last year. They don't know how he lost, and then he had a few kind of physical issues and stuff. So, but he was wicked impressive when he won.
Another question from Sean. Which Irish horse do you think has the best chance to win the handicap at the festival? You've won already, don't you? What you think is?
Yeah, embittered in the Grand Annual.
Who did he run against?
He was second to Easy Work, and then he was second to Andy Dufresne.
Irish horse. I haven't really looked at the handicaps yet. It's not an Irish horse, but one that I think will run very, very well in the attempts. I put him up already. He's on the blind side. I think the horse is... Go on.
And I told the lads last night, my nap at the festival is Imperial Alcazar in the pretemps if he goes there, but they're also talking about going to the stairs. He won't win the stairs.
No, that's no hope in the stairs. Jeez, I'm looking through the fields here now. I can't see anything Irish in the handicaps yet. Maybe Blue Sari if he comes back to himself, but that's a big if for the county hurdle.
Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. Someone wrote in there about Willie Mullins second strings winning races at Cheltenham. That's why, like, the bumper is I wouldn't just be looking at the top of the market.
Yeah,
Or
look,
go try on something.
some people that are kind of new to racing the last few years, they kind of, oh, sure, that's all fixed. Willie Mullins' second or third string are winning. Well, you have to remember, Willie Mullins' second or third string could be other trainers' first string.
George Howard is not happy because I said Sir Gerhard wouldn't win.
I snap you like get bored, Dave. We'll finish up on one more. Dave, pick out one more. Or don't. Oh, a question. Actually, I have one. A question that I seen actually on racing at the races was, if Malala Indo and Absolute Heart turned up for the Gold Cup, which one does Rachel ride?
I actually probably find it very hard to not ride Manila Indo after winning the grade ones over hurdles, but I think Absolute Heart is the better horse.
There's not much in between them. Like, there's two both of them are grade one winners. One is over hurdles, one is over fences. Yeah, I'd say she'd find it hard to get off Manila Indo. But look, it's not a bad decision to have to make. But yeah. Right, I think we wrap it up now. Not much more we can go through. So we are back next week where we're going to preview the Goff's Estes Chase, which is on Thursday, which I'm absolutely bulling. First time in 9 years that I can't go to it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, I'm absolutely raging.
Up there the last 3 years in a row. It's something we look forward to every year, but sure, look, everybody's in the same boat, so it really doesn't look like we're getting out of this anytime soon either, so.
Be next year. With another year of this shite now.
Should I keep growing my beard or shave it? What do you think?
Leave it grow, the hell with it. And your hair. Leave your hair grow as well.
That doesn't grow, Andrew. You know that.
Whoops. Sorry. Right, so we're back on Wednesday with another preview. As I said, Goff's Estes Chase, we preview, which is on Thursday. And Cheltenham Trials weekend is on as well, which is more or less going ahead. They said today that the temperatures are going to rise and they're not worried, but it probably will be heavy ground. So from myself, Dave, thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you again on Wednesday for another weekend preview.